What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. A lot's been going on. So me and my family, we recently done a big move, a huge move. We are officially away from Dubai for the time being. We are back stateside. Um, so there's been a big transition. I had to wait for my computer to get here. My computer messed up. Well, my video card messed up. Now I'm waiting for my office to get done, so I'm working off of a laptop for the past few weeks and whatnot. So we are back. Decided to do this video just to give you guys an update, and also because I think we've had our biggest week in trading yet since I've started. Just this week alone, we typically don't like to take trades all the time. Well, I don't. I won't call them out all the time. Especially in the group that I'm coaching in. But this week was a huge week, this past week, and it was FOMC week. We even had a big trade, which we did not trade FOMC, but we did have a big trade off of FOMC. I'll go over that in a little bit, but just wanted to go ahead and just throw out this video, just to keep you guys updated on everything. Let you guys know that I am not done with giving out some banger content and whatnot. And yeah, show you guys this big week. I think we caught over 3,000 ticks on NQ, like in 3 trades, something crazy like that. But anyway, we'll get into it. And as always, please like, share, subscribe. Your boy is back, and let's get into it. All right, so we're back on the charts, and let's go over this huge week that we had with NQ. So this is the 1 minute time frame, as you can see up here. I still have my risk to reward tool up from the trades that we took. So let's get into it. So today is the 30th. That's the day that we're looking at, which was last Tuesday. That was the first trade that I took for the week. The reason why we took this trade was because the open happened around here. We went up, price pushed up, and it took out like a daily. At the time, there was a daily level that was up here, and it hit a big resistance area based off of a 1 hour time frame. So this was the trade that I called. It was more on the aggressive side because the entry, as you can see, was right here on this gap, and it was within a reversal zone, which is right here, this yellow field. Typically, I like to take trades that are outside of this reversal zone, but you can see that we did get some strong momentum to the downside, and there was a huge candle that showed that sellers were in control. So put the order in right here, set everything up. Stop loss was up here at the previous swing high. We got tapped in pretty much right away, and price just kind of reversed like a lot. So it looked really bad. And as you can see, price got really close. I want to say it was 5 ticks away. Yeah, so 5 ticks away from the stop loss, which would have been 192 ticks. So that would have been close to $1,000 right there that we were risking. Got about 5 ticks away, and then like clockwork, it just started to pull back. So I'm glad that this happened because it allowed people to see how important it is to have your stop loss with structure. Typically, I like to do previous swings, or some of my students that I teach, they like to put it a little bit above. I'm cool with either, but I just, for the most part, put it right at a previous swing, unless there's something else that I see. So anyway, price came down, and crossed back over 50, which is the red line, and the VWAP, which is this green line, came back down. chopped around in the reversal zone as it likes to do all the time. You can see that's why these reversal zones are so important. As you can see, chop over here, chopped here, and then we got huge sell side momentum. Sellers came in and took this trade away for us. So you can see TP1 hit, TP2, TP3, which is right there. And by the end of the day, TP5 hit right here, 958 ticks. That was a amazing trade that we did. A lot of people like to ask me, whenever I put a trade on, do you look to take some profits and then look for a reversal? And I always tell them the same thing. Whenever I put a trade on, I just leave it because I expect all my trades to hit 5-1. I've done a lot of back testing with this strategy. It works really extremely well. It's made me very profitable, and I just have a lot of confidence in it that it's going to be able to go 5-1 a lot of the times. And in this case, it did. We even went through another reversal zone that was right here, and you can see it was close to the closing when it happened, and sellers just came in and took it away. So this was a great trade here. Let me pull up. You can see here. So this is where I called it out. I'm going micros on this trade. FOMC was the next day. You can see we hit TP1, we hit TP2, TP3. I got out at this point in time right here just because FOMC was the next day. And if you know anything about FOMC and NQ especially, or even the S&P, you know that the day before usually is like a roller coaster. It likes to do stop loss hunts and whatnot. But we ended up hitting TP4 and TP5 as well. So that was amazing to have on a day before FOMC. So that was the 30th. That was already 958 ticks. You could be done for the month with that amount of profits. Also, another thing, whenever it does get to TP2, I will move my stop loss to break even. And then every time it goes to another TP, so when it goes to TP3, then I move my stop from break even to TP1. And then when this gets to TP4, I move it again from TP1 to TP2. And then I just let it play out. So I'm sort of chasing it as the market is making big moves, whether it's going up or down. That's just how I like to secure some extra profits. So that was the 30th. Now, if we fast forward here to the May 1st, this is FOMC. So we did not take this trade, but I like to still draw it out because, FOMC is crazy. You just never know what's going to happen with FOMC. So we did get a setup. I just like to draw it out just to sort of test my strategy. I've done a lot of back testing again, and I know that this strategy can survive news. So it just depends on the prop firm. Once you learn the strategy, it just depends on the prop firm if they allow you to trade on FOMC or not. And if you can always, throw in one micro just to be on the safe side and do it like that, because it is well worth it if you want to, take that chance, which I do not. So anyway, let's look at this trade. You can see price came into the reversal zone, crossed the 50, crossed the VWAP. It made structure. It made structure right here. It made structure once it crossed over this point right here. And our entry was on the gap, which was right there. There's a small gap right here's the top and there's the bottom. So that was my entry. You can see price came in immediately and tapped us into the trade if we would have taken it. and then news was here. It started at 2 p.m. and then of course he starts talking at 2:30, answering questions and whatnot. That's when it really starts to either tank or skyrocket. So you can see it skyrocketed as the strategy shows you, and yeah, it went for 1,048 ticks right there in a matter of, what's that, an hour? 1,048 ticks. That's about, over $5,000 one contract, if you were to take it. So we did not take this, but we still were talking about it in the group, and a lot of people were able to see this play out, and so that was really good for them to be able to follow along, just to know that the strategy can work with news, even though we don't recommend trading with FOMC. So anyway, let's fast forward to the second real trade that we did, which was on the day after FOMC. If I just fast forward here. Okay, so this day was really good again, and we actually had two setups. So the first one, which I called out, was actually at the very bottom of the trend. We got a huge sniper entry on this trend reversal. So I called out. I saw it come into my reversal zone, and it sort of made a relative double bottom here. And this was actually sort of like a silver bullet entry as well. And I called it out right here, and it immediately went up to TP1 and then TP2 immediately. Like, I think I called it, and then while I was posting it, it had already hit TP1. So a lot of people missed that part, but they were able to get some of this little pullback right here and over here. But so their entry, a lot of the members' entries were around the TP1 area, which is not bad, but it wasn't just like a sniper entry like we like to have. That's just how the market is sometimes. Sometimes it just likes to take off like that. So this one went up. Of course, you can see it hit TP3. Now, in the chat, I was telling the members that this looks like it could give us a setup for the A plus as well. So it looks like we can have two trades in one, which is exactly what happened. So meanwhile, this one was sitting around TP4, 444 ticks already. So I was telling people, look, you could take out majority of your profits once it hits TP5, because we already took some profits at TP2 and we're already at break even. So we're not leaving that. You already have a runner that's trying to aim for TP5. If you have multiple contracts, then you could take off some here at TP5 and let the additional runner play into the A plus setup. That way you have an entry down here, and you could still have a stop loss up here at this structure that happened. Because if you only took the A plus setup, then you are risking 310 ticks, as you can see there, which is quite big, and a lot of people can't really afford that unless you have really big contracts. So anyway, it played out. It gave us the A plus setup, and it went sideways for a while. It was just hanging around, going back and forth to the would-be entry, and then it goes up, hits TP1, which was 300 ticks, about $1,600. Goes to TP2, which is about 600 ticks, about 3,000, and then it goes up to TP3, which is 928 ticks, which is a lot of money, close to 4,000 or whatever. And then it's the end of the day, right? So the market closed right here, right around TP3. At the open, the reopen, it did get close to TP4, but we can't hold positions overnight anyway, unless you're doing option chains with futures, but that's not the case here. So anyway, it did get up to around 928 ticks. Now this is 928 ticks from this A plus entry. That's from up here. So that's 928 ticks from here. If you add that with the entry from down here, then that gives you about close to 1700 ticks right there. So it was a great day, great trade. A lot of people made some great money. It was actually the first time that I've had two setups in one sitting, but it worked out really well. And just with that one, and if you would have took these two setups, and if you were ballsy enough to take the FOMC, that's another 1,000 ticks right there. And if you were taking the other trade that we had here, that's close to another 1,000. So that is about over close to 4,000 ticks in what, 4 trades, which is insane. So, and that's just one contract. So it was a great week. A lot of people learned a lot. A lot of people made a lot of money. And yeah, what I could say is find a strategy that works, back test it, study it, back test it, study it, and back test it, study it, right? So that way you know exactly what to expect when you're in a trade. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time. There's going to be some more videos. I am sort of halfway there with getting my setup the way I want it, so I'm going to be knocking out some videos as soon as it's done. But just wanted to stay in tune with you guys and let you know, just find a strategy and stick with it, give it a shot. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you watching, and I'm out. Stay tuned for the next video.